Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Smith.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm actually in the library right now and I'm excited. How about you?
I'm excited too.
There's so much to learn.
Yes.
Life is interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You know, but in the midst of life is death. That's one of the realities. And on this podcast today, we'll definitely be talking about death and the grieving process. It's real. Just recently, we had quite a few number of individuals passed away in my church, and we have to give encouragement. And people are waiting and wanting to hear how we cope with that. So today, we talked before about the grieving process and their different stages.
Yeah.
Highlighted. You have, for example, denial. You have anger. You have bargaining. You have depression. And the last thing is acceptance. However, today we'll talk about the second stage or the second phase of grief.
Yeah, sure. Uh, what is the second stage of grief?
Well, definitely the second stage of grief is anger. What does that look like? One might ask. That's the time after that shock, denial, can't accept that it's not real,
Yeah.
that it's really real. One goes into a phase of frustration, getting very upset. So that part of the grief in process, that's when your emotion, which is natural, it's a normal um, um, emotion and response. That helps. That also is a part of the healing process
Okay.
of grief.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Why do you think that people feel anger when they are grieving?
People feel very angry when they're grieving because they feel helpless. And this is a way of expressing it that they can't help, and they think that there's some unfairness there.
Yeah. And is it okay to feel anger while grieving?
Absolutely. Yes. Because you actually, one sees anger, it's valid. Because when you're really helpless, the mind begins to process the deep pain. There's a certain amount of pain. When one experiences this, the pain is so deep that they become angry. And that's a part of the healing process. And that's very important. Some people blame themselves, and some people even blame God.
Yeah.
And some people might even want to blame the person who died.
Yeah, I get it. Uh, what does an anger in real life look like?
Well, thanks for asking that. Anger in real life is like, wow, anger, I'm upset. I will blame. I will blame people. I'll be so, it's hard to express, but you start blaming everybody. You start thinking, if I didn't do this, maybe that would have happened. It's a blaming, it's a blaming sort of expression.
Okay.
Okay. And that shows they become irritable and they might, you just have to understand. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. Yeah.
And how
They
can
might
some,
snap at you, become so irritable and just get upset. So it's important for you to understand, or the family members, or whoever it is, to understand that this is also a part of the grieving process.
how can someone snap out of it? If,
Well, snapping out of it, is that it's important to find ways of coping, talking to a trusted friend, seeking spiritual advice.
Yeah.
If it's getting really, really bad, you can journal also. But if it's really getting really bad, you can seek professional counseling. And these are some of the ways you help to cope in this situation.
Thank you so much sharing for that. And yeah, I really get it. Anger is like the biggest emotion that you have, and you can just you don't know what you are doing while you are in anger. So yeah.
Yeah. So I would say, as I'm leaving right now, it's so important to share this so that people won't take it so hard, you know, and knowing that this too will pass. But there's a time, right? Don't put too much limit on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, because it is a natural feeling to experience at this time. When one loses someone, that's how these are some of the things that happen. You deny it at first, you get upset, you can't believe it's real, and it's not true. But then in the second stage, you're going to feel angry. And whether with yourself, whether with the person who died, or even with God. But remember that it is one of the way of healing, becoming healthy again. And sometimes it varies, as I said before, different stages. So next time, we'll talk about the other stages. Yeah, thanks so much for asking. And there are other individuals out there who might be experiencing this. Don't be hard on yourself, and you would encourage them that it's a part of the process, of the healing process. And the two will gradually pass as the healing takes place. Thanks so much for asking. How can you connect with me?
Podcast and YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere you are there. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much for this interview. Now, I know there are young nurses out there, and I am passionate about sharing my book with them. And within this book, Prathyusha, I have a segment there on grief.
okay.
So this book has so much information, not just for the new nurse, but the public in general. They can get information from this book that can help them to cope in these times of sorrow. Thank you so much for asking. No, I would like you I would definitely like you to do what? Subscribe to my channel. That's Empowering New Nurses. That's on my podcast. And on YouTube, it is Nurse. It's Miriam Amanda Smith. And the book is on Amazon, one of the bestsellers. Nurse, the guide to empowering new nurses in the delivery of high quality care to all patients. Thank you so much. Look forward to hearing from you. And remember, in grieving, anger is also one of the emotion surfaces. And it's a matter of feeling the hurt, the deep pain and hurt. So look forward, share this with a friend, and subscribe. Thank you.